All right, guys. Bitcoin on a little bit of a pullback today, but I think this was kind of expected. I was going to make a video like 30 minutes ago. Bitcoin was at 51.5. Now we're back up to 51.9. So typical volatility, nothing too crazy. Overall, your altcoins, they pulled back a little bit. AI altcoins pulled back the most because they pumped the most. Solana's still at 107. I mean, XRP 56, been there for about a week. Cardano's still over 60 cents at 61 cents. And I really think that if once Bitcoin gets above 52,000, you'll see Cardano right back up to 63 cents. Any big movers here? Not really. I mean, Bitcoin went down a few percent. So, of course, a lot of your altcoins went down maybe like 4%. Let's see. Where's Theta? Theta's at 118. Theta's down 9% because Theta was kind of in that AI altcoin pump. We're going to talk about Theta a little bit. But overall, everything looking good. I noticed that I'm talking about Theta a little bit. I always say, like, a lot of these YouTubers, what they'll do is, this is like a big Theta YouTuber. I like the guy, but a lot of these big Theta YouTubers or Bitcoin YouTubers or whatever YouTubers, they'll completely run away in the bear market because they can't take the heat. They can't take the heat of people bitching on their comments. They can't take the heat of, oh, they're talking about how great Theta is, and then the next thing you know, it drops 50%. Like, guys like this can't take the heat. Another guys like this is this awesome Austin guy who completely left for a year in the bear market. Now he's back shilling again. But this is kind of how you can tell we're like back in a bull market. So this guy, Crazy for Cryptos, he has a lot of subscribers. He lives in like the Philippines or something. He completely left for a year. This is his first video he's made. He only makes like Theta videos. And this is the first video he's made in a year. He's talking about Theta. So let's hear a little bit of it. He's just kind of talking about how Theta, well, here's a Twitter first. Here's on the Theta network, how Theta network has by far the largest network in the DPIN category and boosts the biggest partnerships. I think that's basically like DeFi. Because, of course, what Theta is trying to do is decentralized video. That was like their main thing. It's kind of interesting the way like Theta works. As you're sharing little information on everybody's computer and over thousands of or millions of computers. You can basically share all that data. And, of course, Theta is like #1 in that category. And Crazy for Cryptos talks about that as well, briefly.
DPIN stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network, DPIN. And Theta, last I checked, is the leader. They have more than 10,000 nodes for their DPIN. I believe DPIN is going to be the hot category for 2024's bull market. So keep that in mind. Keep that word DPIN, big D, small e, PIN, DPIN. Theta is the #1, but not many people's talking about it. It's like, I look on Twitter, on X or whatever, YouTube, a little bit of people talking about it, but people, I guess they're not aware yet that Theta is the leader, but it's kind of like, it's invisible for some reason. But I think people will eventually wake up and Theta won't be so invisible anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's the same thing that happened with Theta in the last bull market. It was doing absolutely nothing. Nobody was talking about it. Theta was another one of those coins that I started pulling money out of to put into Bitcoin because Bitcoin was doing all the pumping. So I took a little bit of my Theta out. I think Theta was at like 25 cents or something like that, 20 cents. And I swear to God, I'll never forget it because I was on a vacation at the beach. I think it may have even been like the winter or sometimes we'll take like fall, winter beach vacations. And I remember walking on the beach, pulling out my phone. I hadn't checked crypto because I wasn't even checking crypto every day at that point because we were in such a bad bear market. I was kind of depressed. So I checked Theta and I see Theta is now at like 80 cents or something like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? So what do I have to do? Of course, sell the Bitcoin, that I bought with the Theta at 20 cents and I have to buy back in at like double or triple the price. I mean, I still did very well on Theta because I sold most of mine at like $10 and I bought most of my Theta at like 20 cents or whatever, under 20 cents. But man, like it just fakes you out. And I believe that's what's going to happen with Theta as well. Right now Theta is between $1 and $1.30, and that's where it's been. We went down to like 50 cents in the bottom of the bear market. But before you know it, Theta is going to get some news. It's going to trend on Twitter. And then we're going to go from $2, $3, $4. We're probably going to hang out at $4 for a little bit. And then we're probably going to blast off the $10, $15, $20 Theta. And of course, that's when I'm going to be selling. And another thing you have to realize is we haven't even had the halvening yet. And I always say this, like I say this every video. Guys, we haven't even had the halvening yet. So everything happening right now in crypto, it's kind of like no man's land. We're like, it's just like, it's unpredictable because we're just kind of in that, I guess you could call it like nothing stage before the halvening. So we just get these pumps and we dumps. But overall, everything looking good for Theta. And of course, I was talking about AI crypto. Yeah, I mean, here's kind of showing that AI crypto has kind of been pulling back since its big pump. Most of these AI cryptos are down between 5 and 15%. What's this pop up? No, thank you. I mean, some are actually still up over 24 hours, but some of these big ones are down between 5 and 15%. So nothing too crazy. And it looks like Bitcoin's coming back up anyway, so can't really complain. I also saw this article that Bitcoin holdings on Coinbase reached lowest level since 2015 as whales withdraw Bitcoin. A few users on Twitter believe the movement of funds indicates a supply shock prior to the halvening, while others pointed out the whales are just moving funds to OTC desks or other custodians. So this is kind of what happens. People, the big whales know that they're probably not going to be dumping out of their Bitcoin for another 6 to 8 months. Like, okay, maybe they'll start taking profits when Bitcoin hits all-time high, maybe $100,000. Okay, minimally, that's 6 months away, maybe a year away. And they're basically just saying, well, we're not going to just leave our freaking funds on Coinbase. So we're getting that shit off, and they're probably putting it in hardware wallets. So that's a very positive sign to me. Now, when you see an article in 6 months where it's whales are putting their money back on Coinbase, that's a telltale sign to get the freak out of the markets because they're going to be dumping on you. So we'll be monitoring that. But look for something in 6 or 8 months when Bitcoin hits all-time highs. You're going to see the same article, but it's going to be in reverse. Whales sending record amount back to Coinbase. And that's when you're like, oh shit, you got to take some profits. Another article I saw, I hate this guy, Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know why. Like, this Robert Kiyosaki guy, I don't know. He just reminds me of like the 90s, like Kevin Trudeau's, Don LaPree's, Carlton Sheets. I don't hate him. He's not as bad as them, but he's another guy that makes money off selling a book or selling information, not off actually making a business. I do believe he does have a lot of Bitcoin, but this is one of these like stupid predictions. Like Robert Kiyosaki expects Bitcoin to hit $100,000 by June this year. And around this time in the cycles, we start to get these crazy predictions. I mean, there's no way we're hitting 100,000 by June. We'd be lucky to hit all-time highs by June. Because what generally happens is April we have the halvening, so we'll probably have a little pullback after April. So maybe we'll be back at like $60,000, $55,000. Then maybe May, June we start to come back and start to pump again. Then maybe we hit all-time highs. I'm thinking if we hit 100K Bitcoin, it's going to be probably October, going into the fall. So, but we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong, but the problem is this time of year this time in the cycle, you get so many of these crazy freaking predictions. Found this article, and it's rare to find like just basically a grounded article at this point in the cycle because everything's been pumping so much. But I agree with this completely. This is from, I guess, ZY Crypto. $8 Cardano price is likely this bull cycle, but Cardano could remain in the consolidation phase until April 2024. So essentially they're saying Cardano could remain around where it is right now until April, or we might get like a pump up to 70 or 80 cents, but then maybe we'll come back down. And I agree with that. Like, I don't expect too much to happen with Cardano until after the halving. I mean, I think it's possible by the end of the month, maybe we get a 70-cent Cardano, maybe even an 80-cent Cardano or something like that. But even a 70-cent Cardano or an 80-cent Cardano, you could still technically call that the consolidation phase, especially if you think Cardano is going up to $8. So here's the article. In their usual fashion, market analysts are making bold price predictions for crypto assets, especially altcoins. At this time, Cardano is one such asset poised to make an upward price correction in a long time. The analyst, Martinez, a prominent market observer and crypto investor, has outlined his observations and expectations for the 8th most valued cryptocurrency. In recent posts shared on Twitter, the analyst highlighted a chart pattern that seemed to repeat a pattern back in 2020 when the pandemic triggered a crypto market crash that caused Cardano to experience a notable dip. And I'm not going to I think we kind of went over this article yesterday as well. Basically, just how Cardano is doing exactly what it did last bear market, especially in that pandemic area, and everything's kind of mirroring. But the one thing I like about this article is the top for $8. Like, because I've been seeing a lot of articles is like, oh, Cardano going to $30, Cardano going to $20. I think $8 Cardano is the top. Like, if Cardano hits $8 and you have not sold any of your Cardano yet, like, you're going to lose all of your money. I can tell you that for sure. Of course, on this channel, we're going to be dumping out of Cardano 50% at about $3.50. Then we're probably going to slowly get out $4, $4.50, $5. I might hold a little bit in anticipation for an $8 Cardano. But honestly, if we get to like a $7 Cardano and I have like a few $1,000s worth of Cardano left, I'm probably dumping it at that point. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Not much going on. Kind of, just a typical day in crypto. Not too much news. Let's see where Bitcoin is now. Bitcoin back over $52,000. So we're right back where we were. Like I said, it's just that little wave. We're riding the waves right now. We're riding the waves. I was watching YouTube earlier, all the videos. Cardano, or not Cardano. I keep saying Cardano because I'm thinking about Cardano. Cryptocurrency dumping, big pullback coming. I don't see any of that, guys, unless we get some bad news. We're just in that wave. 51,000, 52,000, 52.5, back down to 51.5. We're just in that wave. Everything's looking good. All right, guys.